They found an army. Now they just need a whole lot of guns. And for Rick and Michonne, today just might be their lucky day. It's lovin' in an undead world on this week's episode of The Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 12. Say yes. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of The Walking Dead. So, we are entering spoiler territory. This is your final warning. Alright, so fun episode this week. I thought a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, a lot of Rick and Michonne together. And I have to say, those two are adorable. Oh, it's so cute with them together. They just have such a repartee. The body language that these two actors have together, you can see that they have had a lot of fun filming. They are having a lot of fun doing this show, and it really plays off. The interaction, I think, between Rick and Michonne throughout this episode was just beautiful. They're cute. They're having fun. They are totally capable. And they're kind of enjoying being out and away from Alexandria, or at least Rick is. Rick pushes kind of throughout this episode how much he is more than willing to push things for a little bit longer, a little bit, go a little bit further, take their time a little bit more. Which we come to find out is because he's not really sleeping well. That opening sequence where Michonne comments to him about thanks for taking watch last night, that just seemed cute. But then we find out later on he can't really sleep at night. It's during the day. It's while he's taking moments from exhaustion. But laying there by himself thinking about the losses that he had, Abraham Glenn, who he remarks to Michonne, saved his life from the very beginning. Having that loss has really affected him. And now he gets to spend the time with Michonne, a woman that he loves, away from everything, just the two of them against the world, and they're having a blast with it. And it's really cool. They got some just great moments, I think, constantly throughout this episode between the two of them. But the big scene, of course, is them finding the, not amusement park, carnival, traveling circus, looked more carnival-ish. But quite a fun. And, obviously they're feeling a little cocky. They're having kind of way too much fun. And even as they run into this kind of gift given to them, a walker with a gun on him, that's like a present. Then you find a whole bunch of them, and then you find a whole building full of meals ready to eat. That is the gods just smiling down on them. And I'm sure you guys are all smart. I know that the minute you saw them walk on top of that roof, it was all covered with water. It was like, okay, just waiting for them to drop down. Just waiting for that to die underneath them. And I loved that shot, that they maintained the camera there as they dropped out underneath it, and they just maintained that blank frame till you just hear the wrestling and then just the laughing happening off screen. I thought it was just wonderful storytelling right there. But they've got a whole bunch of food now. They've got a place, they've got a bunch of people, and I love where it's just the two of them, a whole army of walkers out there, and they're just counting, and they're like, yeah, we can split them up. Yeah, we can take it, just the two of us. And they do, in badass fashion, because these are total badasses. And I thought it was cute. It was very well done. The moment that they had before this, because I'm going to jump into their clearing out those guys in just a moment. But while they were eating, that kind of moment where Michonne starts to mention about the future. I think this is where the discussions have to start going on, because yes, they've got this immediate thing. They've got to deal with Negan. But at this stage in The Walking Dead, it is no longer about survival. For the first few seasons, it was all about just survival. And now they've been starting to try and set up a community, a place where they could live. But once you do that, then you have to start asking the really bigger questions. And I'm glad that we start to breach that with this episode, with Michonne asking Rick, okay, once we defeat all this, what do we do? Once we defeat Negan, then what? Negan wanted to remake the world the way that he saw it. So that would then be up to us. Or I think it should be up to you, Rick. You should be the leader. You are the man. Which was sweet. But I think very appropriately turned right back on her when he's like, no, it should be us. This should be something that you and I should do together. And that really kind of solidifies that moment, what they're dealing with all around then. And that was the big setup for the big last sequences. They had to kind of get to this point. Have the joy, have the successes, have the thought of the future, of where things could be, that plan, that belief that they can reach it. Because that's what makes the tragedy or the near tragedy of the whole carnival sequence really hit home. Because there was a certain level of cockiness that went on with it. One, why did Michonne jump in the trunk? If they were just going to leave the car right there, she could have stayed out there, maybe cleared a little pathway for them. I mean, there were some tactical discussions. I know they just wanted to be together. But it works. You see the two of these, they're experts. We've got a barrier, stabby, stabby, stabby. Ed comes down, we break them up, we separate them out. These are experienced killers, which is why I don't understand why Rick stopped in the middle of all that to climb up on the Ferris wheel to look at the damn deer. Yes, he owed her a deer. I love that he did that little referral back. But maybe take care of the walkers. It's there. It's not running away. It's obviously not too concerned about it. You have a more of immediate threat. The deer's not going to kill you. A bunch of walkers will. So that just kind of annoyed me. I know it's a sign of the joy in the place that he is in, that they're in, is that they're kind of indefeatable, and it seemed like that way. Until the fall, because of course it's going to break, and he's going to fall, and then he's going to get overrun with walkers. But we do, for that just briefest moment, we think, oh my God, they just killed Rick Grimes. For the briefest moment. I know it passed quickly because we're like, oh, it's probably the deer. You're not going to kill Rick. But the effect that it has on Michonne is immediate. And I think that was the point that we were trying to get to. How connected they were, the fact that now that he is gone, that she is willing to give up at that moment. She drops her sword. She just stumbles back as the walkers close in. She's not, closing her eyes and stepping into it, but almost. The shock is overwhelming. Which, luckily, we do get that scene when Rick jumps out and throws with the sword, and it's all very appropriate. Shh. Great. All the moves with Michonne this week were just beautiful. But that was a good tragic moment to get that, because it had to have that final discussion at the end where Rick points out, and again, appropriately, is we are looking about the future. You and I no longer matter. We are trying to make a bigger world. And so if we are lost, then we will have to move on. If I am lost, you'll have to move on. If you're lost, I will have to move on. And I like also that he puts in, because if you lose me, you will have to lead. This is... We have great movements of leadership. We have Maggie taking over there at Hilltop. We've got Michonne and Rick as kind of the perfect power couple in the apocalypse, working together, but also knowing is that if one of them goes, the other one can move forward and will have to move forward, because it will be their responsibility to help continue to forge this world. So the whole arc that the two of these went through this whole episode, I thought was beautiful, was appropriate, was nice, it was succinct, it was well done. A lot of emotion, a lot of happy, a lot of scared, and a lot of just wonderful acting and interacting between these two. And back at Alexandria, we have Rosita being whiny. Really, she's just being whiny throughout this episode. And that's pushing Tara to really weigh the secret that she has about Oceanside. Cute scene between her and little baby Judith, or not little baby Judith, Judith's gotten big. But with Tara kind of weighing things out and asking those important questions. These people saved my life. This girl saved my life. And she didn't have to, and we put trust in that, and shouldn't that be honored? Why is our lives more important than their lives? Of course, what she beats with her argument with that is because, our lives, we're not hiding out waiting to just survive. We are trying to change the world. We are trying to we're trying to kill the people that they're hiding from. Is that better? Is that not better? You know, she doesn't really come up with an actual answer to that, which I thought was kind of good and appropriate. Not until at the very end, where she obviously makes that decision and goes up to Rick and says, I have a secret. I need to talk to you about something. It will be interesting to see next week where that starts to lay out, what Rick's response off of that is going to be. Yes, they know at this point they're going to need some more guns for the group of the wreckers over there. But I'm just curious how his response is going to be. I think Rick will probably understand why she kept the secret, but maybe appreciative that she's revealing that right now. But for Rosita, it was just, with her episode, it was just a lot of complaining. Whether it be against Tara, whether it be against that scene with Father Gabriel, I thought was really hit the nail on the head. Is as much as Rosita is whining about that she is still alive, that she was not successful in taking out Negan, Gabriel's saying, look, I saved your life. I thought that it was important. But the real question is, what are you going to do with it? Because it is true. I mean, as much as she threw up against Gabriel about the whole, I wanted to do it and all these people would have been alive. Well, no, you shot at Negan actually after Spencer died. Yes, Gabriel sort of tried to stop you ahead of time, but you didn't have any opportunity. That was really the best opportunity, and you kind of dropped the ball on it. And that had the consequences. So I think that was a good speech, and that's obviously what pushed Rosita to make her big move. Now that she's got a gun, she's going to go hike up to Hillside, get Sasha, and the two of them are going on a suicide mission to take out Negan. Okay, all right. Well, Rosita's been kind of a pain, so if she doesn't come back at this moment, unless she makes a big character change, I don't really care if she doesn't come back. Sasha, I'd miss a little bit more. But she's got some other, big job plans ahead of her also, so this might be a good way for the two of them to go. So Rick and Michonne do get all of the weapons, of course, and take them back to the junkyard gang there. And just, I have to say, I love the negotiation tactics back and forth there. How many guns? 5, no 9, though this, and then it ends up centering around the cat. The wire cat that Rick grabbed at the end of their first negotiation. I thought was just perfect. She's like, oh, no, you can have that, but you bring the cat back. No, we keep the cat and we'll fight together. And I love seeing the negotiations there. They're going to need more guns. They're going to work together. Fine. I just love the fact that it all at the end was centering around the metal cat. Oh, and just real quick, here's the question of the week. The two saviors that they ran into, did they just steal the stuff out of the back of their truck, or did they kill them and then take their stuff? Not really sure which way that went. Seemed to imply stealing it, but there were just two of them. All right, so I think that's going to wrap things up for this week. Now, next week, of course, we have some adventures going on at the Kingdom. Now, Rick still needs to find some more guns. We've got Sasha and Rosita out on a suicide mission to try and take out Negan. And from the previews, it looks like maybe Carol's got her groove back. Did she find out what happens with Glenn, or is it a different threat that gets her to act? We will have to find this out next week. So, if you did enjoy this review, as always, I just ask that you hit that like button. And if you have any thoughts, ideas, concepts, theories of what's going to happen, throw those down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What are your expectations? Where do you want to see this season sort of wrap itself up? We still got 4 more episodes ahead of us, so still we've got some excitement to look forward to. You can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Darren Jakes. But if you don't want to miss any of these wonderful reviews that we do, if you are not a subscriber, please join up, and you can do so by hitting my little face. It's right there. Go ahead and click that, and you won't miss anything. And I will throw up our latest review of Black Sails right up over here. Pirate Epic on Stars. Wondrous show. It's their last season. You should check it out. Anyway, so I am D, and I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.